All right, get us configured for slow flight. So we can use this as the reference, so go ahead and just bug this straight ahead. We'll use the head bug as our reference here. And then same thing, crack. I'll call clear turns, let's say we did them already. Okay, if the examiner could do that to you as well. You always plan on doing them, unless he says those who count for your clear turns, no worries, you know, just get into it. Sometimes they will do that, all right, and then you can forego those clearing turns. All right, and then you see your climb here on your altitude, do your flaps deployment. Time your flaps deployment so you don't climb. If you climb, no problem, just get back to your altitude and airspeed before you start the maneuver. But pull the power first and let that speed really start dropping. When you feel like you got a lot of back pressure in to try to keep the nose up, then put a set of flaps in. And you should be able to release back pressure and not balloon. Then a set of flaps in. So time your deployment of flaps with your airspeed so that you don't balloon up out of your altitude. That way you stay configured the whole time.
What's my slow flight speed?
The slow flight speed will be 70 knots.
Good.
So get us down to 2,500 and then get us to 70 knots. And get us trimmed up too if you want. It's going to make life a lot easier. Back on your heading. Remember, you need a whole lot of up trim probably. And then just pitch for 70. Now be very cognizant on this maneuver. I don't want you below 70. So if you see it dropping below 70, push the nose down. You know, pitch for airspeed. But 70 plus 10 is what you're allowed. Whatever number you pick. You have a plus 10. So if you want to do like 75, give yourself a little margin, great. For now, I want you at 70 when we're practicing just us. We want to be precise and try to get you really good. Aim small, miss small. In the actual check ride, I would say give yourself that 5-knot buffer either way, so you have a little room there. All right, so just maintain this head in, maintain 2,500, get back to 70, and just lose a little altitude to get back to 25. Now what we're looking for here is good control of the aircraft in the slow flight regime. So that's pitch for airspeed, power for altitude, you know, knowing that relationship now in slow flight. And also spin awareness is really big. So staying on that rudder. Knowing that when you have a high angle of attack, you have more P factor, more left turning tendencies that you have to fight with that right rudder, especially in the climb when you have high power settings. All right, perfect. Now I want you to give me a left turn to a heading of 060, and I want you to maintain altitude the whole time. So just maintain 25, and give me a nice left turn here. All right, your max you're allowed is 20 degrees of bank. I would say max I want to see is 10 degrees of bank. Really, I want you 5 to 10. If I'm just giving you a turn like this, I would say stay at 10. But slow flight should be slow. Everything should be slow. You don't need the bank at 20. And then just for you, obviously maintaining altitude and airspeed is important, but rudder. That rudder is huge. That's what they're really looking at, is making sure you have good spin awareness at slow speed like that, close to stall, because any yaw and a stall could produce a spin. Still have that traffic off our left side, probably about 3 miles, somewhere over there. Oh my God.
Yep, I see it.
All right. All right, now I want you to give me a climb to 3,000. I don't know if we'll get there, depending on those clouds. And give me a left turn. Actually, let's see what the guy's doing first.
Headed toward us.
Headed towards us. Give me a right turn to a heading of 120. Up to 3,000.
Alright, 120 up to 3,000.
Right rudder. Remember, add any power, a ton of right rudder, because slow speed, high angle of attack. More right rudder. You got more strength, I know you do. Push a little harder. There you go. More power. And then more right rudder. Watch that speed, pitch the nose down. Stay on that right rudder, yep. There's a workout of the maneuver of your right leg. It's a lot of right rudder. We might get the 3 before the clouds.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect.
No, not perfect.
Not perfect. Within standards, but otherwise, other than you dropped your speed.
Yep.
So you did blow it there.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's go left now to a heading of 030 and give me a descent back to 25. So remember, slow down the bank. Slow down the bank. Even less. Even less. Even less. Even less. Even less. Even 5 degrees. Less. Just look at your descent rate. You're barely descending. So I want you to see if you can try, when we do these, to hit your heading and your altitude at the same time.
Gotcha.
Alright, give me that level of airmanship of being able to judge your turn rate and your descent to try to get there together. So you see how you're going to get to your heading and you haven't even descended 100 feet yet?
Yeah.
Because you have power in. Power has to come all the way out.
Yeah.
And same thing with your climb. Like, you only put a little bit of power. Power should be full. Full power climb. So you're at your head in there, yep. And now we just have to descend. So there isn't any stipulation that you have to hit both at the same time in the actual CP check ride.
That's what you want.
I want you to try to do that, because that's going to build good airmanship, good pilotship of the plane, like good understanding of how the plane flies and being able to manipulate the airplane. Shows me a good level of control of your aircraft. The biggest thing is you just bank way too much.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's easy to control the bank in slow flight. You can turn to your headed no problem. The part where most people struggle is getting to the altitude, because they either leave too much power or don't pull out power enough. So I want the power part of it, the descent rate part, to dictate your bank. Okay? I want you to use that. So if you see yourself climbing fast and you're going to get to your altitude, you can judge how much bank you need and time that to get there. So you're timing your bank on your altitude, because that's the harder part. All right? So let's try that. We'll do a 3,000 foot again. I want a left turn to 300 here. All right, so judge, because remember, slow. I do like 5 degrees of bank, barely turning, just barely turning. And then as I see my altitude getting close, I can increase my bank if I need it. So yeah, right rudder, full power. Really get that power. Pitch the nose down, 70 knots. Stay on that 70. There you go. Now lessen that bank. There you go. Now just looking at your 500 foot per minute climb, okay, that's a decent climb rate. Now you kind of judge your bank. You can see as you're getting closer. So just ease that bank on. You know, kind of just ease it. It's easy for you to manipulate that. The climb, less. So I would go a little bit less bank, because I can see you're already going to get to your head in. So you're at 10 degrees. Like I said, really 5 degrees works better. Like, there you go. That's about as much bank as I want. Just a little bit. And then you can kind of time it to match the same. Alright, you're at your head in. And then pull that power back a little bit. Reduce that descent. Perfect. Better. So just do that. So just try to judge your altitude to show how much bank you need, or how less